Unabridged Company and the Mysterious Press present The Old Turk's Load by Gregory Gibson. Read by R.C. Bray. Original material copyright 2013 Gregory Gibson. Recording copyright 2013 Unabridged Company and recorded by arrangement with Mysterious Press, an imprint of Grove Atlantic, Inc. The Street Brothers. The Street Brothers weren't really brothers. They were from L.A., and they always worked together, and their names happened to be Woody and Vince. It was their East Coast colleagues who, for reasons known only to gangsters with ninth-grade educations, had given them the brothers' handle. In the summer of 1967, they spent a long afternoon on the New Jersey piers producing documentation, dealing with brokers, paying fees, and filling out customs forms in order to take possession of a custom-built Porsche, straight from the factory via Marseille. Woody passed the time by thinking about cars he had owned in the 35 years he'd been alive. His father had worked for the phone company, and what with the war, it wasn't like his family got a new car every year. He had childhood memories of a black 39 Packard, the way the trunk humped up and back, combined somehow with ice cream cones and gas rationing coupon books. Then the 52 Chevy Fleetline, used but cherry, with full trim and power glide. His first car. The 55 Mercury Monterey, back to a Chevy in 57, Mercs again in 61 and 65, then his current 67 Lincoln with the tinted glass. It took a while to sort through the succession of models, with their accessories and combinations of tans, canaries, burgundies, slates, and leather, chrome, or wood grain finishes, interior and exterior. Woody had a habit of thinking in lists. Vince, on the other hand, was adept at not thinking at all. Sometimes after a long silence, Woody would say, "Vince, what are you thinking?" And Vince would reply, "Nothing." Woody liked that. What Vince did was whistle, a thin, curling, barely audible stream of air. He'd hear a song on the radio and it would stick in his head, so he'd blow the first few bars over and over for days on end until another song replaced it. Right now he was on the Stones' Ruby Tuesday. He'd get as far as Still I'm Gonna Miss You and start over. Invariably, Woody would be relieved when Vince picked up a new song, then annoyed for a few minutes at the prospect of hearing its beginning notes over and over. Soon he wouldn't hear it at all. They were made for each other. The Street Brothers were in the compliance industry. They'd come east from Los Angeles 15 years earlier and spent their entire careers in the employ of Mr. Angelo DiNoto of New Jersey, enforcing discipline among the loan sharks, bookies, whores, crooked cops, and compromised government officials who comprised DiNoto's empire. There'd always been drugs, of course, but things had been changing throughout the 60s. Now Mr. D's operation was more refined. Under pressure from the American government, Italian officials were cracking down on Corsican and Sicilian entrepreneurs. In Turkey, facing similar pressures, growers slowed poppy production to a trickle. Through the malign inadvertence of the CIA, the centers of opium production shifted to Southeast Asia. Yet the Turkish trickle, stuff that used to be referred to as druggists' opium, was prime shit, the raw product yielding up to 20% morphine, nearly twice what was expected from Golden Triangle exports. Accordingly, each season, on a remote Anatolian plateau at the farthest reach of Mr. D's influence, an old farmer set out a field of high-octane poppies, 1,000,000 rapture factories. At harvest time, he and his people would move through the field, collecting the latex the plants gave up, licking the metal tool's edge to lubricate it, working in patient bliss, sunrise to sunset day after day. The sticky brown goo would be carried by mule back to Izmir, by ship to Marseille. There it was boiled, limed, filtered, seared by acid, pressure-cooked in nasty pickle-smelling chemicals, chloroformed, carbonated, and squeezed till the god stuff was tricked out, hoard up. The old Turk's crop would be smack by then. Horse, junk, 10 kilos of blindingly pure heroin. They'd installed the 1967 load in the body of a customized Porsche, specially ordered by an American businessman, and shipped it as a private consignment.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?